Welcome to ETERNIA FACT FILES. In this series, we'll take a look at some of the questions regarding He-Man and She-Ra and try to answer them, from the nitty-gritty to more general topics. Now, since He-Man and She-Ra have a long history in comics, cartoons and more, the answers may come from in-universe or from behind the scenes. My name is Jukka, and this video's topic is when the 2002 He-Man toys and cartoon came out, one of the big topics in the fandom was the new Powersword He-Man wielded. It wasn't the first time that the Powersword had gone through changes, see New Adventures, but given that many other design elements in the 2000X were fairly vintage-inspired, the new Powersword took some adjusting for the fans. And with the new CGI Netflix show coming out this year, we will again see some changes. But for now, I'd like to take a look at 7 things about He-Man's 2000X Powersword. But first, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, because YouTube's algorithms are peculiar and I don't understand them. Also, let me know in the comments which Powersword design is your favorite. I've talked about this in a previous video, but when it comes to the 2002 reboot of Masters of the Universe, it all comes back to the Four Horsemen. Their intricate designs for the characters are what were translated into the cartoon, and with the Powersword, it was the Four Horsemen's original concept that, and I quote, "It was supposed to be a continuation of the original cartoon, where Skeletor had somehow gotten the Powersword from He-Man and was now in control of Castle Grayskull. We were hoping that story could be told in flashbacks. Because of this, Man-at-Arms built Adam a new mechanical sword that the sorceress imbued with the last of her magic, essentially sacrificing herself, so he could transform back into He-Man and save Eternia." And if all this from Carnboy's description sounds familiar, that's because some parts of this idea were later used in the Masters of the Universe Classics bios, though, as often is the case with the Classics canon, only partial tidbits were used and not at all what originally was planned or intended in the source material. But I digress. Included in the original idea by the Four Horsemen was that He-Man and his small group of rebels then have to fight against Skeletor's armies in order to reclaim the Powersword and regain control of Castle Grayskull. Man-at-Arms built the sword in a way that it could contain the sorcerer's magic, transform in order to release that magic into Adam for his transformation into He-Man, and then draw the magic back into it, returning to its original state when he transformed back into Adam. Which to me sounds like a really fascinating concept, though to be honest, while I can see where they were coming from with Sorceress sacrificing herself, I personally like it that she was present in the 2002 series. Moving on to number 2, still keeping with early development ideas. This one comes from Michael Halperin's 2000X series Bible for the cartoon, the extended version. The description for the Sword of Power mentions that only He-Man can wield the Sword of Power. A shocking and immobilizing bolt of energy surges through the magical weapon if anyone else touches it. Which is something that was touched upon in other media as well, and there will be a video about it soon. But meantime, the Halperin Bible includes a mention of the high-tech circuits in the sword as well, as if He-Man ever becomes separated from the sword, he loses his strength, and within a very short time he will revert back to Adam. Out of which the reverting back to Adam was played up in a couple episodes, when He-Man had a powerful magical opponent or entity. And speaking of the reverting back to Adam, we are all familiar with Adam turning into He-Man by saying, But when He-Man needs to change back into Adam, he says,
"Let the power return!"
And when he needs to enter Castle Grayskull, he only needs to say, "By the power of Grayskull, I command the drawbridge open." Which was a cool nod to the original series. One thing fans always pointed out is why didn't any of the characters close to He-Man and Adam notice that their swords were the same? Well, in the 2002 cartoon we saw that when Adam used the Power Sword it was much smaller in size and more sleek.
No, Adam's sword. Send for man-at-arms.
Then as he turned into He-Man, the sword opened up on the hilt into a larger form. But as it turns out, it wasn't the final form. As we saw in the episode 39, Awakening the Serpent, when He-Man is fighting Serpos, the sword actually opens up to reveal an inner green part that helps him in his fight against the creature. This, however, was not present in the script for the episode, and in an interview with the director, Gary Hartle, he surmised it was toy-related, which can be expected in an animated series based on action figures. But luckily fans were not left hanging, as the comics by MV Creations helped explain this sudden change with the aid of the Faceless One. During a battle scene with the Snake Men and Skeletor, the Faceless One stops time and space to communicate with He-Man privately. And as he finally puts it, all He-Man needed was a little help. And that little extra boost is what helped He-Man defeat Serpos. So there you have it, 7 things about He-Man's 200x Powersword. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe as I'm trying to make more videos like this in 2021, and that way you won't miss out on any updates. Like and share with your comments about your thoughts on the 200x Powersword. My name is Jukka, and I wish you good journey.